Here we are in section 3.1, exercises 7 through 10. Fill out the tables for the following lines. So here we have equations of lines, and each one has a table that we need to fill out. So this says x is going to be 5. So we stick 5 up there, and we get the equation 5 plus y equals 9. Well, if we subtract 5, we get y equals 4. So that 4 for y is the partner for 5 as x. And you'll notice 5 plus 4 does indeed equal 9. So that's what we'll do on all of them. Negative 4 going in for x, that will make it, let's put it in right there, negative 4 plus y equals 9. Add 4 to both sides and we get y equals a 13. So the 13 would be the y that corresponds to negative 4 going in for the x. All right, what about the next one? This one, 3 goes in for y. So when we take this one and we have it be x plus, stick 3 in for the y, equals 9. We just rewrote that equation right there and stuck in 3 for the y. Subtract 3 and we get x equals 6. So 6 is the x value that goes in there. Now we'll take a 0 and stick it in for y, and we get x plus 0. Notice here we just stuck the 0 in, equals 9. So that means x equals 9. Oh, that was a nice one. I like sticking 0 in. Oops, what did I put as x there for? It's a 9 there. So 9, 0. And then the last one would be 7. So 7 in for y. So we get x plus 7 equals 9. Subtract 7 and we solve for x, getting a 2. And so those become the answers there. Great. Let's do number 8. So we're sticking 2 in for x. So we get 2 times 2 minus y equals 5. It's 4 minus y equals 5. Subtract 4 and we get minus y equals 1. Divide by negative 1, we get y equals a negative 1. Okay, the next one, we get 0 goes in for x. So take this and let's put it in right there. 2 times 0, there's the x, minus y equals 5. So yeah, let's put in 0 right there and see what happens. That's just 0 minus y equals 5. That's negative y equals 5. Divide by a negative 1 and we get y equals a negative 5. So 0, negative 5. Okay, good. Let's try the next one. Negative 1 goes in for x. Let's write it down here. 2 times a negative 1 minus y equals 5. So that's negative 2 minus y equals 5. Add 2 to both sides and we get negative y equals 7. Divide by a negative 1 and we get y equals a negative 7. So the negative 7 would go right there. What about sticking 0 in? Okay, 0 goes in for O, but not x, for y. So it's 2x minus this y right here. Let's motion that we're going to put him right in there. Equals 5. So gone. 2x equals 5. Divide by 2 and we get x equals a fraction. It's 5 halves. So this could be like 2.5. And the last one, 4 in for y. So we get 2x minus 4 equals 5. So add 4 to both sides, we get 2x equals 9. Divide by 2, x equals 9 halves. Oh, 2 of them with fractions there. All right, let's go to the next one. Number 9. Ooh, this is going to get more and more complicated. So stick in x and stick in 1 for x. So this guy is going to go right up there and we get 5 times 1 plus 4y equals 9. 5 times 1 is 5. Subtract that and we get 4y equals 4. Divide by 4 and we get y equals a 1. So 1, 1 would be a point on this line. All right, the next one, 0 in for x would be 5 times 0 plus 4y equals 9. This is just 4y equals 9. Divide by 4. Divide by 4, and we get y equals a 9/4. Okay, that's a fraction on the y there. So 0 9/4 is on the line. Negative 3. Stick in -3 for x. So we get 5 times a -3. I'm going to write that as a -15 plus 4y equals 9. So -3 went in. Let's draw this line down through and yeah, see where it went there. All right. Add 15 to both sides and we get 4y equals 24. Divide by 4 and we get, that means y is 6. Oh boy. All right, now let's stick in 0 for y and we get 5x plus 4 times 0, so plus 0 equals 9. Divide by 5 and we get x equals 9/5. Oh, I like those zeros. That makes it nice. 9/5 there. And then the last one, stick in 5 for y. And oh, this will be a big one. 5x plus 4 times 5 equals 9. So let's motion that we did that guy right here. Okay, so 5x plus 20 equals 9. Subtract 20, 5x equals -11, and divide by 5, x equals a -11/5. So there are a whole bunch of problems. It gets a little hairy because you're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 separate problems from chapter 1 to find out each of the corresponding points that this line is going to go through. All right, number 10. Okay, so the first one, we're going to stick in a 1 right up there. So we get x minus 7 times 1, I'll just leave that as a 7, equals 13. Add 7, we get x equals 20. All right, next we're going to stick in a 3 for the y, and that gives us x minus 7 times 3. That's a 21. Let's make sure we see that when I stuck it in there, it made the 21 equals 13. Add 21 and we get x equals 34. Wow. All right. What do we get on the third one? Okay, so here we're sticking 2 in for x. So let's mark that we're going to stick it in right there. 2 minus 7y equals 13. Subtract 2 from both sides and we get -7y equals nope, not negative, just a positive 11. Divide by a -7 and we get y equals -11/7. So that'll be the partner for that one. Now we're going to stick in 0 for x. 0 minus 7y equals 13. That means it's useless. It's just a 0. Divide by -7. We get y equals -13/7. Oh, fractions over there. Okay, and the final one, let's stick in -1 for y. So take that and put it in, and we get x minus 7 times the -1. So I could have written x plus 7. We'll do that in the next step. X plus 7 equals 13. Subtract 7 and we get x equals 6. Oh good, we're done. 6. So these are the points that you could just randomly do it. We should note that when you stick in zeros, those are the easiest ones by far because when you stick in a 0, it cancels out whatever it's with. Okay, good.